Another 2 weeks have passed. This is me again, Franz, talking to you, thetrendtrader.com, interested in long-term market developments. What we're looking at right here is the Bitcoin dollar index. I don't see any divergences in this chart. I only see a massive price gain to the upside and then a correction. We are having a momentum below the zero line here, but no divergences in the momentum indicator, no divergences indicated in the price. Technically speaking, we are waiting for a new trend to the upside, but who knows what the hell is going on in stuff like Bitcoin or any other crypto currency that looks exactly as this looks, simply due to the fact that they are all down 50% and they are so brand new that volatility is quite an issue here, and we don't really know what's going to happen. If you have any spare dollars, trading the chart might make some sense. If not, you better stay out. So that's the comment on the Bitcoin prices right there. Let's take a look at the S&Ps. We have been saying ever since this thing dropped to the downside here to the 2500 area that it will probably balance itself out now inside the balance zone, with momentum looking for neutral levels below and just around the zero line, which is where we are right now. And the candle closing for the past week is indicating a bearish scenario that would be approaching these old lows of February right here. Are we gonna crash? Probably not. Are we gonna be weaker? Maybe. I don't see any buy signal yet, even though you could buy an breakout above here. We don't really know if that's going to happen. We would just be following price as a trend follower. Right now, no position, no entry, no signal. Or there is this signal right here, but it's not a good one. It's just, you know, a fractal in the middle of a sideways movement as the markets are correcting inside the balance zone. Nothing else is going on in the S&P. Therefore, we are waiting for new indications, for new stuff to happen that would show us where we can make some money. Right now, in US stocks, in my opinion, there's nothing going on. If we are switching above to the higher time frame monthly chart, we can see that April, for now, we have the 21st of April here today. We are bouncing off the balance zone, so this thing is still running in an uptrend. Please watch my weekly recap from 2 weeks ago, where I'm a little bit more specific on this. We are bouncing off of this, might go higher, even though the weekly it does not show any indication of an uptrend to continue. We don't know right now as we trade the weekly charts and the daily charts. We're staying out. Market is in chop mode. Nothing happening for us right there. When we take a look at the stocks, at the Euro stocks, we are actually in Europe now. Taking a look at the stock market here, we can see we're bouncing back into the balance zone. We have failed to break out lower here. We are now back in here. Our stop is just about to be triggered. It looks like this breakout here on the monthly is not going to happen to the downside. First, this upside breakout monthly basis fails, we come down into the balance zone. This is where all the support is lying, but we can't break it. We can't break it decisively. We are not able to follow through here. We are now back into the balance zone right there. We really have to wait and see if we can now turn around to the downside as we hit those resistance levels indicated by the blue, red, and the green line, and then continue lower. Right now, no indication for this. When the trend is turning around, or when it looks like it's turning around, we have first been moving up, now we're moving down, or at least we're coming down again into the balance zone. We really have to be careful with our positions. It's probably not going to work out on the first try. Market is going to take some time. Maybe it's going to continue up. It might continue down as well. Small position are key here. We don't want to get too much risk on. You can also see this in the UK index. It did break this fractal to the downside. We went short, but it doesn't really work. We are bouncing back. These last 4 weeks have been very strong to the upside, and we have no follow through to the downside. Therefore, as the markets are still trading inside the balance zone on this monthly chart, just like we see here, we don't have a downtrend, we don't have a bear market, we don't have a bull market either. But what's important is that we have a sideways moving market. We are not trending to either side. And that just tells us that when we take these attempts, any attempt that the market is having to the downside or to the upside, we must take it with very low risk, because we know that the market has to find itself. It's not there yet to really go into the new direction or continue the trend in the old direction. It needs time to breathe, it needs time to figure out where it wants to go. This might as well continue for the rest of this year. Who knows? What's important is that we have a plan, that we have a system, that we're able to follow whatever it's doing. Looking for the markets where something is happening. This is difficult actually to find right now. US dollar yen here in the weekly scenario, we have a short entry here, we have short entries here. We are in profit, but the price is actually looking for the balance zone also. So no follow through, no momentum establishing to the downside. When we take a look at the monthly chart, we can see that this market is unable to really make new lows and establish this downtrend here. Right? This is what we would be waiting for. As we have been broken out here, we would be waiting for this to go lower. We don't know if this happens, we don't know how fast, we don't know when. We can only follow. Right now, our first entry is in profit. The second entry, and even if you took a third one, are not in profit, and therefore we need to be scaling. We need to be careful. We need to take low risk on this stuff. Therefore, right here we are waiting. We have our stops in place just above those candles, as the market is in danger of spiking and popping up into these resistance zones. That's the US dollar yen, British pound, Australian, undecided for the week as it closes here. We have an entry from here. Monthly is also moving higher. We are holding this long, but it's been so boring. You know, it's up. On the monthly we broke out, but there's no momentum getting going. We don't know if a massive backdrop is going to come anytime soon into this. Therefore, small risk until this really shows us that it wants to get going. Euro Swiss franc above 118.40 has actually gotten going here. I've been talking about this on Twitter. This is the breakout that happened 2 weeks ago here, and now this week is higher again. But let's see where it goes. You know, even if you have a weekly closing like this, the key really is not to have any emotion. We don't have an emotion when it's going up. We don't have any emotion when it's going down or against us. We just want to follow. We want to play that thing wherever it goes. And the key of having not any emotion is what is going to lead to success over the long term, because we are able to adapt to whatever the market is doing. Gold is disappointing once again. We have been triggered long from this black line. The major breakout would occur here at 1380, I would say above 1400, but this week is retracing downwards again. Therefore, our small position long is still being held, but we're not too positive about it right now. We like this pop that we see in silver. Maybe some follow through is possible here. If you zoom out a little bit, you can see how small the price range really is here between 21 and 16, where this price is trading. It has a lot of upside left, not a lot of downside in my opinion, with this whole divergence that we see here. It may eventually break out to the upside. We have volume actually coming in, but we don't know when this is going to happen. We don't know in what manner, what fashion. Therefore, small risk, and only when the trend really gets moving, we want to add on. We want to show that we are confident in what is moving. But when it's not moving, even though theoretically we might know that it has potential and that it might get going, we are taking the position, but right now in gold and silver, this is just not the case. Therefore, we are waiting, we're holding our stops, we're holding the position itself, we're not messing with it. but we are also not increasing the position. So 2018, this is the end of April almost. We are looking at a market that has stopped trending in the indices, and currencies are not really showing us too much. Neither do commodities here with gold and silver. So we might actually be looking at a year that doesn't really do much for us as the long-term trend follower. Short term, these choppy markets might actually give you a whole lot of opportunities, but you really have to have the capital and the time to sit there and watch the markets to take advantage of stuff like that. If you're looking for major trends, this is not the place for us right now. We are sitting there on the sidelines like a sniper and waiting for the markets to perform in the way that we like it. And as we don't see this right now, we just have to have more patience and wait, and our time will definitely come. And should gold be breaking out above 1400, should silver finally crack that 18 mark, and the indices may be breaking down, we will be there and we will make those profits. And you can come back to this channel and you can see how it's done. Just like you have seen the S&P trend, for example, that we had been riding from all the way down here to here. No problem. If you want to know how to do this, you come back here and I will show you this. But you gotta have that patience, and you can make the market move wherever you want them to move, at what time you want them to move there. What's very important in this game is that you have to understand that markets are gods, and you have nothing that you can add to this. You cannot force them, you cannot move them, and you can only get from them whatever they are offering to you. And right now they're not really offering that much, and you got to be okay with that. You cannot base your next car or your next house payment or whatever on the market moving this month. It's not going to work that way. The approach we take is a approach that is going to change our life fortune. It's not just going to make us a living from it. It's going to change our life fortune. But you got to have that patience. And since there are very, very few people who have that long-term patience and follow these long-term markets moves and increase their position size as the markets are moving, I think we really have a chance here, but there are not many who can do this. Following this channel hopefully will help you accomplishing this. We're looking at indices, currencies, and commodities to accomplish this. There is a lot of potential out there, but as we're looking at it long term, it takes quite a while for it to unfold. Thanks again for watching. Post a comment, like the video. That really helps, and I see you in 2 or 3 weeks when we have some new developments in world markets right here.